Hello, welcome to my channel, A Piece of Gaia. My name is Lindsay, and today we are going to do a reading on the week ahead. So the next 7 days ahead, what is to be anticipated, what are some of the things maybe we need to look out for, anything like that. We're going to go ahead and look into that. So we have 3 different decks here before us, but we will be using all 3 of these decks as well. So if you want to pick one of them as one of your readings, reading 1, reading 2, reading 3. Okay, and the timestamps will be listed in the description box and in the pinned comments as well. And I will see you in your selected reading about your 7-day forecast. All right. Hello to those of you who selected group 1. We're going to go ahead and get into your reading here. First of all, I hope you all are having a lovely day ahead, or if you are not having the best day, I hope your day gets a lot better from here on out. And we're going to go ahead and see some of the energy that you are working with in this next 7 days. What are the messages that need to come through for those in the next 7 days? Okay, we have shop. With thanks for supporting local witches. With the King of Pentacles, it says true success isn't just about money, it's about happiness too. Then we have the 10 of Wands here with why make things so much more difficult than they need to be. Okay, and then we'll get one more. We have number 12, the Patient Witch, which is the Hanged Man. So learn to get comfortable with sitting still whenever necessary. Okay. So I'm feeling with these cards out already that there's a different way that something needs to be done. And in the King of Pentacles, I'm seeing that so far you've established a good routine. You've had things going. You've been somewhat successful in your career or what you're trying to, whatever level of success means to you. Okay. And I feel that in the 10 of Wands, you're starting to feel like maybe it's about time now that you've done a lot of the work. It's like in order to find more leisurely time, more happy times, more joyful times outside of work, and work doesn't have to just be all about work. So I feel like maybe in the 10 of Wands, we've had it be too much about one thing constantly, and we're playing catch up here. And so much so that I feel like we're in need of a rest, in need of some kind of break where we either, I'm feeling like the universe is going to present you with this opportunity to take a break from a lot of the difficult things that you've been doing. Let's go ahead and get a card here. So moon phases here that are important. Here we have goddesses as well. Yeah, I feel like with Isis coming out with this Hangman card, it's definitely telling me that something needs to be served with death and rebirth energy. So letting something die and fade away and rebirthing it in as something new with a new set of standards, a new set of rules, a new set of the way that we do things, maybe even delegating out some tasks as well. I feel in the Freya card, it's like not everything definitely does not have to be all done by yourself. There are helpers. I'm also feeling like the feminine energy is very strong within these cards as well. And being that we got the King of Pentacles, I'm feeling like the masculine and the feminine here are becoming very balanced. And in order to maintain this balance and not get off balance, that's the reason why things have to change. The cycle has come to an end. Things are going to get a little bit easier from here on out. It's just there is this pause period of time where you're going to be able to evaluate that and spend some time finding more stability. So I feel like that's what you're really aiming for. I'm feeling like also in this card, in this depiction, it makes me feel like the King of Pentacles in this suit, happiness and success to him means being able to just pay his bills and have leisurely time and do something that he genuinely likes to do. So that feels very stable to me. I also feel with the waxing earth moon that you're bringing something in. There's something that's you're drawing in at this time. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some more messages here. Okay, we have focus, number 35 with stock. Number 17, regeneration with tarragon. And number 9 with protection in the onion. Okay. Yeah, I feel like Isis is a very protective energy. I mean, all goddesses really carry that, but in particular, I feel that Isis is this protector because I feel like she also, she protected her brother, husband, or whatever, brought all his parts back together and basically, brought him back to life. So I feel like there's something within you that is coming back to life within this period of time, this hangman period of time that you're in. And that number 9 is showing me that cycle that you're in. There's just a little push to get finished with this cycle. I'm also feeling within this cycle, there is many layers to the situation and many layers of protection that can be had. So I'm feeling this as also like that resting period of time that you would be going through. You can get back more into that regenerative energy and then find more focus through that on how to do something a little more efficiently. And I'm seeing within the 10 of Pentacles not 10 of Pentacles, but the King of Pentacles is that boundaries are very important at this time. To, establish and maintain that stability that you have. All right, let's go ahead and get some more tarot on the situation here. What are some more messages that those of selected group 1 need to hear this time? You have Knight of Wands. So the movement that I feel like you're going to be establishing after this period of time is going to be very efficient, very quick moving, and I feel like it's going to have more passion behind it as well. Maybe something has grown a little stagnant within the routines that we have been in, and we're needing to rework something and bring a little bit more of that fire energy back to the system. And I feel like with that protection and the tarragon message, we have kind of this double Aries thing going on. Which one? Cards? Sagittarius, yeah. There's this fire energy coming through in these cards. And we have Leo as well down here. Some more messages. Five of Swords and the Six of Wands. Okay, so clarify the Knight of Wands a little bit here with the Hierophant. Clarify Five of Swords with the Devil, and clarifying the Six of Wands with the King of Swords. All right. So overall, that stability is definitely one of our main concerns and our main goals. And I feel like the Devil is showing me that there is an internal fear that we have of getting thrown off of this stability. And I guess this reading is really here to say that there are times, and I feel like most of that stuff is mental within the mind space, but really you're going to have victory over your enemies, victory over the enemy in your mind, the one that you're going up against in your mind. I'm feeling like there's a success there. And with that, you're going to find more details getting clear. I also feel like there's something that you're going to read, something you're going to educate yourself with. I also feel like at this time, there will be a clear-cut way about doing things. I also feel like there's probably some individual that is coming towards you here within this energy that is going to be showing you a more direct path to creating more success within whatever you're working with at the moment. And I feel like this card is showing me overcoming your monster. Or there's like this big robot kind of thing. It's like overcoming that part of yourself that has been hard to continue to feed, while it kind of, you have this somewhat control over it, but I feel like it's been difficult to be able to continue to feed those vices, continue to feed those fears, continue to feed those mindsets that keep you trapped. And walking away from them is kind of the advice I'm getting, is walking away the moment that you feel that it is a lose-lose battle. That's when we cut ties with that energy. If you feel like fear is so overwhelming and is making you not be able to move forward in the area that you feel like is destined for you, that's the moment when we say, I need to walk away from this fear. I need to go outside maybe of your comfort zone, I'm feeling like, also, in order to achieve this success. And I'm also seeing that this robot monster has puppet strings on the people that are shoveling in the coal and using this giant wrench to fix this thing. It's like, yeah, with the Five of Swords, I'm being guided to say, if you're feeling like someone's manipulating you, controlling you, or using you as a scapegoat or a patsy in any kind of way, maybe meditate on the energy if you're feeling at all like that's the case. And I mean, if you think that it is, it probably is. That's usually the case that I've found. But sometimes we can let things get up in our mental space and just really create a storm of stuff that most of which isn't even true. So, and the King of Swords is saying, like, get clear with this, get right with this, do your due diligence as far as your investigating of the things that you need to. What do you need to read? What do you need to learn? What do you need to really pinpoint and scientifically analyze at this time? And maybe even do things conventionally for a while. And like the way that you move, like the King of Pentacles here is showing me those methodical steps to get to success. And then the Knight comes in and says, well, from here on out, I'm going to do things I'm passionate about, because that's what's going to light the fire underneath me to continue the process, Because there is that, like I said before, there is that period of time where you're like, well, I've been doing this for a really long time and I need to get that energy back or that passion back or the reason why I even got into this in the first place. I mean, sure, there's things you have to do just constantly because it's like, okay, this is work, you know, but, you know, that's how you create your living. But I'm seeing that, you know, if it is something that's bothering you and it needs a change, that you're going to be working through those issues. I feel regeneration is a big part of it. And also just getting focused in, narrowing in on what there is if you're spread out too thin. I feel like if you need to create a protective field for yourself, I'm feeling like the King of Swords is saying, you're busy. Simple enough. You're busy, you have things going on, you have a goal in mind. Okay? And that goal in mind might be look to other people's on the outside that maybe you're taking too much time away from doing physical things, but really you need this time to regenerate yourself, to gain more focus on what your goals are. All right, so we're going to go ahead and look at this book here and get you a bird from South America and Antarctica. And then I'm going to go back into the video and add what I had looked up and the feeling in a meditation that I'm going to do after this video. I like this. Okay. And we're going to pick one of the first numbers that came out, which was 10. 10, this one right here. So the stilt sandpiper. Okay. Habitat, marshes, shores of lakes. Okay. Okay. So I feel this connection already to the ocean or water source and sky. Feeling that with this, the hangman, like has that deep watery energy, but at the same time he's up in the air, he's lifted up, and to get that mental space flowing correctly. So I'm feeling already with that message from the sandpiper and the nature of the sandpiper that you're navigating like an in-between situation right now. And you will be getting real clear with where you're going, but right now you have some time to think about it. So your extra message from the sandpiper in my meditation is that you have it within you, the determination, the versatility, and the focus to take on whatever it is that is coming throughout this next 7 days. You will be able to achieve this. You will take maybe some methodical steps. In the beginning, you might want to take what comes to you, but ultimately, there is an array of things that are before you to focus in on, and taking one of those at a time is going to help with your level of abundance rising in these next 7 days. All right, well, that is all I have for you today in this reading within the next week. So I feel like your week is going to be filled with a lot of potent energy, maybe a little bit of temptation. I'm also seeing there is a counsel of someone that is going to be coming in, and I'm being told that maybe, temper down some of the things that you feel about speaking in the situation and just let the information come in and absorb it. And what you're feeling or thinking at that time might be kind of irrelevant, because I feel like you need to put yourself in the position of the student so that you can become more of the teacher aspect within this next week. All right. Okay, well, thank you so much. And if you'd like to thumbs up my video, or if you would like to subscribe and come see me twice a week, I do this on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I upload at 6 p.m. Central Time. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye, beautiful souls. Have a lovely rest of your day. Hello to those of you who chose group 2. So with this deck here, so far I'm feeling like there is a deep intuition that is coming to you here in the next 7 days. That's just something that I'm feeling coming through, that you picked this moon deck. But we're going to go ahead and interpret a little bit more, look into it a little bit more for you. I'm going to start out with your tarot cards, actually. So these next 7 days, what can we anticipate? What can we see? What are some of the things that we need to keep our eye out for? So I hope y'all are doing well today and having a lovely day. Hopefully nothing too life-changing has occurred. Hopefully you've had a pretty uneventful day. I love uneventful days. We have the 6 of Wands, the Chariot, and the 10 of Swords. Okay. So this card here says, you're kind of a big deal, so start acting like it. This one says you'll never get anywhere if you keep standing still. And this one says hurt people, hurt witches, hurt witches. Hurt people, and hurt witches, hurt witches. Okay. She has this bottle here. It says curse on there. So this has like a little snail. So this particular card is saying get moving, but do it at a reasonable pace. Go at a pretty slow pace. Because if you do that, you will be able to heal from whatever it is that is going on, and also be able to find success in something that I'm feeling like you're going to be recognized for in the coming days ahead. And also within 6 days, but also this is giving me 6 weeks. So after this, you're setting yourself up, I feel, for a constant feeling of success, moving in the right direction, I feel. So there's something within moving your physical body. So let's get some more energy on this. But the 10 of Swords is really giving me... when we say the saying hurt people, I think it's really just nodding to the energy of compassion, because we have to understand that even though we're hurting, if you have the consciousness, the strength of the consciousness to be able to identify in that situation that someone who's hurting you is so hurt that they have to do that to you in order to just get by and feel the energy for that moment, that can give you a little bit of compassion for that person, because you may not feel like you want to have compassion for someone who hurts you. You know, and often we get in this cycle where we're fine with other people hurting us because of whatever they've been through as well. So I'm also being guided to say that there is such a thing as learning from that. So if there's someone that's in your life that's constantly hurting you in some kind of way, we either need to tell them how that's making us feel. When you use your words like this, it makes me feel like this. You know, using these specific words is very important in a relationship, and not letting that slide and making the other person not be accountable for what they've done. Doesn't matter what kind of relationship it is, it needs to be said so that this cycle can end and move forward. Okay, so then we have the 11 with Fortuna, We have 18 with sacrifice. And we have crescent waxing air moon with idea. So I feel that within this next 7 days, you're going to be feeling very fortunate because something they feel like you have sacrificed in the past that may have been weighing you down, you have been able to move past this and move on. And this is showing me a subtraction somehow with the 1 and the 8, 7. So I'm seeing that as like a subtraction of one energy, that you had to sacrifice something, and then that brought you into this like 7 energy. There's something within the sacrifice that has to do with that. What was it? So I feel like it's maybe like a lucky break that you had to sacrifice something that was probably had reached its time to be sacrificed in the situation. It's not like you had to really go out of your way to pick something, or, you know, and then here in the 10 of Swords, I'm seeing a fresh new start. Like this fresh new realization that whatever had left your life, whatever that hurt, what situation was in the 10 of Swords, that there's this new inspiration, this new idea, this new way of going about some of the ideas that you've maybe had because you have let this properly leave your life. And when you can properly like let something die and just really grieve its process, you're fully in the energy of the present moment. And when you can be in the present moment, new things can come in more easily. If we're constantly staying in the past or holding on to something that has been a long time of holding on to something, and then we let it go, we're opening up this huge space to let in all these new things, ideas being one of those, and then maybe not having to sacrifice as much, or looking at things and analyzing them to where you know the things you're sacrificing are the things that you should be letting go of anyway. You know, I think a lot of time when we make sacrifices in our life, they can be things that are the things that we're like, we really like. I'm like, okay, let's just liken it to food. Like, let's say, oh, I want to give up chocolate cake because I always end up eating a piece of chocolate cake whenever it's around or whatever. So if you say, I'm going to give that up, but let's say that's something that's not really happening that much, and that chocolate cake once in a blue moon brings you a lot of joy. So wouldn't it be better to give up something like, let's say you smoke cigarettes. What if you gave up 1 or 2 of those days of this week just to see, you know, obviously your mood changes, things get crazy, but maybe either reduce the amount, like just taking one step over taking something away that is a bad habit that you, I mean, it could be even something like cracking your knuckles, or, because I'm not really seeing that as like, I think that getting into a major step, like let's say you have fear of moving into another country, but you just feel like intrinsically like that is the thing that you need to do, even though you have a great fear about it. Well, I feel like when you can sacrifice the things that you're attaching yourself to, that I feel like this red color is showing me like those base things, like from our past, or like from the people that we were raised by, the place that we had grew up, when we like kind of let go of some of those things and those be like actual celebrated sacrifices, that's when we can really start moving, even like in a physical way too, I feel. All right, so let's go ahead and get you some of these cards here. To those that selected group 2 need to hear. So number 18 with stimulation and chili. Number 43 with tranquility and the violet. Number 28 with energy and the orange. So far what I'm already seeing from these cards, the message that's coming through is you have to make energy to get energy. Like, if I drink a caffeinated beverage, I'm not taking the energy from that plant or whatever and being able to use it in that now time. What it's doing is that plant is deriving energy and taking it from another source from me. So sometimes I have to take a rest. I can't do caffeine, and because I feel the borrowing of the energy, because then that next day or whatever, like, I just feel like I become dependent on it, or I just need to like slow down a little bit and have a real calm meditation about it. Because having energy isn't always found in things that we put in ourselves. It's actually the energy that we cultivate outside of ourselves and within ourselves. Like, you're doing it, you don't have to bring any outside sources in to create energy. You are the energy generator. I'm feeling that with that stimulation here with the number 11, this doorway, I feel, of the fortune coming in. And I just feel a very opposite energy, that you may have been in like that situation. It's like we're Six of Wands, we're, oh, success, you know, at last. And this is like defeat. So we have a very opposite energy going on here. So I feel like that same message can come through what I said about creating your own energy. It's like, it's also like that when it comes to being around people. Like, how much energy are you expending? How many people do you have to stimulate or, you know, make feel peaceful in order for you to get a good energy exchange back? Maybe you've had to have a lot of sacrifices in the past about that, and you've had to make a lot of different moves in your life, maybe even actual physical moves, because just you haven't really been taught the right way to keep out the energy vampires or keep them at bay. Like, I feel like there's been this level of needing protection against people who are making our life change constantly. Like, we're being affected too much, we're reacting too much to something that's in our life instead of being able to look at it for what it is and say, I'm standing up for myself. You've been maybe taught to walk away constantly from the energy. This is really channel message that I'm kind of picking up on here as I stare out into my little forest here right by this window. And I'm feeling the energy of getting that stillness and that calmness, that energy back is really going to require you to go on your own journey. Stand out for who you actually are. Maybe even the singled outness of the 10 of Swords, this like great sacrifice of being in the situation where you're having some type of death happen in your life. The cycle is ended, it's over, it's almost buried at this point, and yet we still have to keep maintaining the energy that we have. And maybe you're also getting to know this about yourself, about how maybe you are in the situation where you run away from situations that get too heavy. When you have to sacrifice too much, when you have to compromise too much, you're like, no, this isn't making me feel like safe and peaceful. You know, I'd rather bolt, you know. And I'm feeling that energy from this coming through, saying that door to being able to get into that fortune mode. Spirit's mentioning to me that it takes more than just you on this journey alone. to feel your success, to feel your fortune. And this might be a subconscious thing that you're really reeling in right now. Maybe you're reeling in admirers, you're reeling in people who really resonate with your type of vibe. Now, whether this be finding friends at work, doing some kind of online presence, just being able to be an active member in your community. This can even just mean making the front of your house look nice so that you're being more inviting into energy, but also it's a boundary, it's a protection, it's a shield for you so that you can maintain your energy balance. I also feel within this, ideas have been stolen in the past. You know, the Ten of Swords kind of does speak to something like that as well. It's like feeling very taken advantage of in a situation. And I feel like this is such an opposite reading that it feels like there has got to be some balance to be had. And I feel like it's going to be in the favor of your best interest when it's time. It's your time. It's your time to shine. It's your time to get that energy. I said this Aries coming through in this line up here. It's like, it's your time to think about you. Sometimes that might be very hard for people who are caretakers, people who, you know, are people pleasers. And you know, sometimes you, in order for you to feel like you can even be around, you have to feel like you have some kind of purpose or obligation to take care of another person, and that's like your purpose in life. And some of us, you know, don't really see it that way, and some of us do. I mean, there's many different types, but I'm picking up on, you know, you're expressing yourself too late, and then you have to be the one that runs away from the situation because you don't want to get hurt. You want to be the one to get out of the situation before you get hurt. That's another message here. Okay, so we have 6 of Pentacles, a 9 of Wands, and 7 of Pentacles. So what I'm feeling from this is that this equal give and take situation, I remember I had said something about this balancing out, the scales balancing out, and that's where it comes in right here. There will be something that is being given to you. See, I even see this like this. See how she's been given these coins here, and the hands are open to receive. Same position, even in this picture, it's the same position. This hand's more forward, the left hand. The right hand is behind. Yeah, and your left hand is your receiving hand. Oh, there's another message from Spirit. If you want to wear certain jewelry or something on your left hand to kind of bring in the energy of the manifestations coming towards you, kind of like it's already coming toward you, but it's like putting a magnet on it, you know, and getting that pulled in more. Okay, and then we have the 9 of Wands is telling me that this isn't, you know, the first time that you've really been through this situation. Like I had felt, you know, before, this is a repeating event. This is something that you're like, well, like I almost got away unscathed that time. You're like always running away from situations, and instead of fully investing into the fact that maybe there is something to be had for staying power. I see this like seat sitting on this doorway. So it's like in this tree, it resembles that you have to plant your roots in order to be able to grow as tall as you can. So I feel like in the 9 of Wands, there's that very vivacious wanderlust of Sagittarius energy in that card. And it can be very subconscious because this also symbolizes the moon as well. So I feel like with this card, this tranquility with the Pisces and the sacrifice, there may be of some unconscious sacrifices that you've had to make in order to keep going, keep moving forward and doing it your way. So I feel like maybe the compromises just have not been at a level that you're willing to actually commit to that. And then the Seven of Pentacles is showing me that maybe we've never even really reached the end or the fruition of being able to get down, a good routine. And we're coming to a different energy of that. We're coming to a successful energy on that. So I feel like there's going to be some kind of help that's going to elevate you and get you to, you're like, oh, you're waiting in this card on the defense. Is it going to be the same kind of situation that I was in before? Am I going to have to run again? No. I feel like there's new ideas coming in. There's fresh new inspiration once you've let go of that old way of looking at something, that old fear-based mentality of feeling like the victim in a situation. That's when the energy starts to pick up, and I feel like this is going to be a surge of energy. It's going to be a really lucky break for you. I feel like also you're going to be able to get yourself in a position where you can spend some time on perfecting something that's going to be making you some kind of money, something that's going to be, I'm hearing passive income. Okay, let's get some clarifiers here. And we have the Seven of Swords, Ace of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. All right. So ultimately, this whole reading is really, trumped by these two cards. So, in this top part, so it's like you will get all the things that you need and want and more. I feel there's some kind of the completion within your desires that you feel, and you've been picking up on this. I feel like you've been maybe even watching a lot of readings to really look through this, but I feel like this is you in this situation. And then this, looking out this window, is what you see for your future. I feel when you hold that vision with this very pure intentions in your emotions, I'm hearing from that. And then the Seven of Swords is like, don't let your mind get the best of you by connecting that again to this situation. It's like leaving in the middle of the night, running away from a situation and sacrificing a lot of what you've worked for in order to be more of a passive resistance in a relationship or in some kind of situation that you have been in. I could also see this likened to work with the Pentacles. But like I had said with the subconscious energy that was connected to the Nine of Wands, let's get deep of why we want to be on the defense, why we consider running away from a situation and keeping our defense up instead of establishing ourselves, creating that pond, laying those bricks to bring in that fountain. Like I feel like encapsulating that water. Because in the Nine of Wands, I feel like it's all used up on the steamboat here. We've kept burning off our very potent manifestation fuel, which is our emotional capacity, in being stubborn and holding on to things and certain patterns that had been continuing from our flight kind of energy. Our fight or flight would be to flight. And I feel like you're going to probably do this again. But this time you're going to be a little more conscious. You're going to be a little more aware. And you're going to want to also keep those emotions set aside from some of the decisions that you're going to be making, because now they're coming from a place that's a little bit more spiritual. We're taking into account that we're seeing the patterns. Now we want to learn more about them, I feel here. Okay. And this two combination here, this Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, is showing me that there may be somebody who's acting like they're giving but really taking two in a situation, like they like to be like very equal about how they're giving, but then underhandedly they're really not. Like they're trying to, it's like, I'm likening it to like a situation where someone says, oh, we're gonna go do a job together, and the job pays $800, but that's what the guy told the other guy that he brought along as a friend. He's not going to give him equal shares because they're getting $1,000, but really he's going to pocket the extra 200. So he's going to tell his buddy that he, you know, needs the help from, that he's not going to split it equal. So he's going to consider the fact that that extra $200 is basically worth a charge of finder's fee for finding the job, and he can legitify that. Well, if that's the case, then, you know, maybe that's where they're coming from. But if it's not something that's actually negotiated or brought up at all, you might feel like you're being taken advantage of. Okay. All right, so now we're going to look into a bird here from South America and Antarctica. So I'm going to go ahead and just get one out, and then I will look up my feeling. I'm going to do a little meditation about it as well, and then I will insert my feelings on the matter and my intuiting. Oh, cool. So we're going to take one of the first. So we had the 6. 6 is the whistling heron. This guy right here. So marshes, open country, wooded areas. Kind of looks like the blue heron. I might be on another page. Oh, little blue heron, number 10. This one. So yeah, another connection. So just like number 1, they had a bird that was also kind of on the edge of the water. This bird can be, you know, not always in the water. It can go out into the land areas, but I feel like most of the time they're gonna get their main diet from being on those coastal lines. So in estuaries, around islands and lakes, things like that. So already the message that I feel from that bird is the hunting aspect of it. The sharp beak, going fast, being, when it's time to strike, like be ready for it, be focused, be ready to snap up the opportunity. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Like when there's stuff to be handed out for you that's equaling out the scales of whatever has happened, be there to receive so that it can validate you to move forward. Because I feel like sometimes we can get stubborn in our head and be like, no, I don't want it because that's going to obligate me to be more attached to you or in your pocket or whatever the sayings are. So with that, you are putting a block on some of the manifestations that are coming in and saying, no, there has to be a way that this has to go. And so you're narrowing the channel of the manifestation coming towards you. So it's going to get blocked. You know, if that tunnel is narrowing, not enough of it is coming through. So I'm feeling that. Like, don't miss out on opportunities by kind of telling yourself these things that I feel like is misinformation. You know, because I can also see you getting into kind of a paranoid mind with some of this. Yeah. So just, you know, do a good evaluation, because I feel like the 10 of Pentacles, it's probably this next 7 days is really preparing you for this next year ahead is what I'm seeing. And the 10 of Pentacles is showing me that things are gonna be going the way that I feel you are perceiving them. Like your energy, your positivity is everything in this. Also believing in yourself. The Seven of Pentacles always gives me believe in yourself. Believe in the fact that this is working for you. Believe in those manifestations coming through. Make that channel clear with that real good positive intent in those emotions. See yourself achieving it, already visualize it happening. The extra message from the heron is showing me in my meditation that do not underestimate the power of your intuition at this time. The heron has almost a sixth sense for where his prey is going and where he's going to get the hunt to completion. Like, he has this just knowledge, and also it's about pattern recognition, I feel. So knowing the patterns that you have from the past are also going to be good indicators of aligning up with your logical side and your emotional side. So that's going to be where there's going to be a fine point where your intuition intersects, so that then you know what part of yourself to trust and what direction to go into next. And that fine point of logic and emotion might feel a little bit uncomfortable before you get to really understand it. Some parts of our intuition that are wanting us to see it have to come in repeatedly for us to go, oh, I can identify this as a pattern, and I'm seeing where I need to place my intuition into the situation. So there's a very strong connection to your intuition with this bird, and to honor it. Also, maybe even focusing in on this bird, asking this bird for a conscious connection of some type of a message that it would like to send you during those moments of finding that pattern recognition. Okay. All right. Well, that is all I have for you today in this reading. Thank you so much for vibing with me and enjoying this. I've really enjoyed this one. There was like a lot of channeling kind of energy that came through. I really like that. So yeah, I thought I would keep it kind of minimal. Maybe try that again with the channeling, kind of just staring out the window, looking at my plants, looking at various animals that go by, and just the information kind of comes and pours through. So yeah. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you so much again. And if you would like to see me again, you could thumbs up my video, subscribe please, and help me get my channel going. And also, if you want a time on my videos, I do uploads every Tuesday and Saturday. Upload at 6 p.m. Central Time. Okay, all right, thanks. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye. Hello to those of you who selected group 3 with this deck here. So we're going to go ahead and get into some energies that are in and around your energy field for the next 14 days or so. Would it, before something happens, some event, something that you're going to, or maybe some unexpected news. So let's go ahead and get started here with the tarot. I hope you all are doing well this evening or day, whenever you are receiving this message here. And if you hear any noises like that, I think that's a frog. But the animals are quite noisy right now, and I have not yet added the extra part of my window to this area, so it is still pretty noisy here in this little forest that I'm by. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles. This is funny. I feel like that sometimes. I have 4 cats, and 3 of them are black. One of them's black and white. But so having it all looks different to everyone. Yeah, very true. Then we have the 7 of Pentacles says, nurture what you have and see how it grows and grows. And the Queen of Pentacles says, there is no need to sacrifice. you have it all. Okay. All right. So I feel like you and a familiar, you and something else that kind of comes with you, that could even be like a very strong set of principles, a very authoritative, but yet I feel like you put like a cute face on a very stern attitude. Yeah, that's what the bunny is giving me. And then 10 of Pentacles, there may be something that is about your inheritance coming up, and I feel like maybe you've gotten to a point where you got a cap on some of the funding that you've had, and here it just makes me feel like you're gonna have everything that you need, and also to nurture what you have. This is the nature of the Queen of Pentacles. These cards go very well with her. So I feel like whatever is meant for you will not evade you. You know, you're walking right into your blessing. There's something that is definitely designed for you. It may not be the idea of having a bunch of cats as something that makes you feel like you have everything, or, you know, having it all. Like, yeah, if you feel like having it all is the nature of that, you know, that I feel like that's pretty easy to achieve, because it's something that's already kind of there for your taking. So I just feel like in this energy, this next 7 days, it's like, take care of what you have, appreciate what you have, work with the things that you have. I feel like the manifestation possibilities of the end of this 2 weeks have something attached to it that is inherently yours. All right, so we have focus, we have victory, and we have memory. So in conjunction with these cards, it just is really telling me a story of remembering who you are, staying focused on who you are. There may be a situation that kind of puts you off balance, makes you feel insecure, puts you in a place where you're like, oh, I'm not as far along as I thought I was, and then it's going to kind of mucky up this manifestation waters. And then the memories and the things that you're going to be telling yourself, are they going to be things that keep you in the present moment in order to receive, or are they things that are going to throw you off and make you think about things you need to change? So I feel like change is obviously inevitable, but really what we focus on in the moment is what's really coming in. So I feel like also with this, it's like, you've already won. You know, you won. In this master number 44 coming through this, like, you're stable. There's nothing that you have to really worry about in this energy. So if anything, like, I'm looking at this, the witch is in, like, she's going into her own office, and it's like she's here. Or maybe I'm also seeing this as her going in to seek some advice from some other person. And if that is the case, also stay focused on your intention. So I'm seeing this also as, if you go to get a psychic reading or even just watching this video, it's like, have a clear intent on where you want it to go, because then when it doesn't resonate and it goes off the tracks of where your focus is, then you can know when that happens. Because a lot of times these like very generalized readings, these pick-a-cards online, you know, yes, they can resonate in different fashions, you know, depending on the energy you're connecting with, but really it's up to you to discern the message. Because sometimes I think the message that we're kind of pushed away from is the one that ends up hitting later and being like, oh, that's why I was like, I felt pushed away from that message, because it did have some potency to it in that moment. I just didn't really realize it, because subconsciously you were attaching it to something else. All right, let's go ahead and get you some moon cards here. Alright, to those that selected group number 3 also need to hear at this time. What are some more messages that you can give us? Impulse. Well, that's funny because I didn't really feel that at all. But maybe that's something that we need to have. Okay, we got more fire energy. So full moon, flower, recognition. Okay. And then we have Isis, who wanted to come through also for group 1, I believe. So we have full fire energy coming through. So I'm feeling like we have Aries, we have Leo. Yeah, there's a lot of fiery energy underneath this pentacle energy. So there's a real ambition, a real push to be somebody who gets recognized. And I think maybe you're wanting to maybe take some impulsive steps because it's kind of giving me the energy of risk equals reward. Okay. All right. But yeah, a lot of fire energy that I say that would need to be challenged or grounded or found indifferent to some of the base decisions and the routines, the outlines of your life. You know, make sure that these impulsive ideas that they reflect positively on the growth that you've already established. We have the King of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. I always feel like this recognize you've already won. But it's like, don't indulge yourself too much on staying in that satisfaction of the recognition or the victory. Like, stay focused on the goals that you need to take, because you need to keep reigniting that passion that you have within to keep going forward. See, so I'm seeing this also as this connection to this part of yourself that's like reminding you of the reasons why you started this in the first place. Because in the Seven of Pentacles, we're not all the way to our goal. So I feel like to keep the goal going and to make sure that it reaches the Ten of Pentacles, we need to keep ourselves balanced and aligned. Also, the giving and receiving aspect, the generosity that you give out, make sure that it's not too much or maybe even too little. Like, maybe there's some aspect of generosity here, because in the King of Swords, I'm seeing the same kind of message that came through before. It's like there's here King and Queen energy, so this impulsive and this focus, it's like there's these opposing energies. And that's why this is also still giving me that message of risk equals reward. But I'm finding like you can only know so much of the situation at the moment that you need to jump on the opportunity. And we have the Devil, Two of Wands, Six of Swords, and the Hierophant. I see this as like a rebellion outside of the way that things are done as well. You're still in this planning stage of receiving this victory. I see you also delving into memories of things that you've had to walk away from and keeping those within you as lessons to also use as fuel to keep you going. And I see this focus and the devil and the King of Swords as in this impulsive energy coming through to say to, stay focused on what you set out to discover or know, or the goal that you had. Be smart enough also in a situation where you're being tempted to be thrown off this focus, to make an impulsive decision. Because ultimately, whatever fear-based mentality that's being thrown at you to sacrifice something or tempt you into something to give you a lack sense, to then you wanting to lust after or want after, or even be able to be puppeted in a situation that maybe you realize later, oh, I got trapped into that situation and I got thrown off my game because I didn't really see either, something that I was worth, something that maybe I already knew. I wasn't being maybe intelligent enough in the situation. So I feel like you can't really cop out of this situation without saying, I already knew that that was going to happen. So you're purposely putting yourself in a situation that is going to cause an impulsive action, throw you off your focus, if you don't remember this balance that you have. Okay, because I feel like, reigniting your passion, you have to be able to hold on to some semblance. If you're going to add more fuel to that fire, you got to keep that fire going in some way. You're going to have to reignite that fire. It's a lot more difficult than to just add more fuel to it. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get a message here from this book here. Get you a bird spirit. And depending on the bird, I will intuit it at the end with a meditation that I would like to insert into this video. Oh, cute. So the first card that came out with the numbers, we have 10. We don't have a 10 on this. So the next one is 7. Okay, the long-tailed nightjar. So these are all night jars. Those birds that stay really still. Yeah, this one has like those long tail. Yeah, they can like camouflage really well. They have big eyes too. All right, so let's see. Forests and woods. All right, so one message that I'm getting from that bird with this reading for one is, don't let your subconscious energy go so far without checking in with yourself and knowing the direction that you're heading in, so that there's not things lurking in the night, is what I was hearing with the night jar. It's like, night jar. Are you compartmentalizing some of your emotions to keep separate away from your life that is in a hidden space that might find its way out, away from you? That long tail, it was the long-tailed one. So I feel like that with also the message of, don't get yourself into a situation or sign up for a situation with somebody who's telling you a tall, long tail to be able to feed into what is in that night jar of compartmentalized subconscious emotions. Because, the jar can grow, I feel, in this instance. It's like the subconscious can grow and take over, and then you're this cog in the machine, constantly feeding the machine of fear. So it's like identifying it right when you see it and being like, nope, like I know what this is, and being concise. The King of Swords, he's like, I'm not going to bend from this. Like, this is my choice. This is my educated opinion. And I will not deviate off of this, and no one can convince me otherwise. That's the energy that we need to get in, especially if we're feeling inclined to make an impulsive decision that ruins our stability in some way, throws us off focus, gives us confusion, you know, that kind of thing. And the Hierophant and the Devil kind of being the major arcana of this situation, I look at it like, once you're already a part of a system of functioning things, it's like, don't throw in unnecessary monkey wrenches in order to get ahead in any kind of way, because the conventional way in some regards might be the way to go at this stage. And this is only a 7-day forecast, but I'm giving it more context because it definitely feels like this is going to be more of like a year or a lasting thing that's going to be established. Okay. And the message coming in here through my meditation from the night jar was that there's something at night that I feel that might be keeping you up, some electronic device. The call of the night jar is very interesting and very distinct. It sounds like an electronic device making a pulse, or a kind of tractor beam radar sound kind of pulsing out the area. So in that meditation, I felt like the feeling that you are being spiritually groomed in some aspect. You might resonate with being connected to ancient ancestors or current ancestors that hold the position of maybe some type of extraterrestrial influence. I don't really know how I feel about the wording about that, because I feel like a lot of when we say extraterrestrial, we mean other than Earth, and I'm like, they're already here pretty much, so not everybody's coming from some other planet that's different than us. So I just feel like there's maybe some different kind of communication that's coming through if you identify with that. And as far as any fears go about the situation with the subconscious energy and the night energy and how that's kind of translating into a fear-based kind of energy, I'm feeling that the night jar is here specifically to act as a night guardian for you during times when you are alone, during the darker times, during times when you have to really be one with your energy. And however that works for you, maybe there is a specific period of time during the night where you are alone and your thoughts start to overcome you, and there is this guardianship that the night jar offers you so that you can get right with the over processing of your thoughts at night. All right, well, that is all I have for you in this energy exchange today. Thank you so much for joining me and putting on your beautiful energy into this. I really enjoyed finding the mysteries in these cards. So if you'd like to join me again, I would really appreciate that. If you want to give my video a thumbs up or subscribe, I would love that. And come see me again when I post. I usually post on Tuesdays and Saturdays, 6 p.m. Central Time. Okay? All right, have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye.